Two ex-soldiers, on a strike-filled highway, and a revenge mission that will test their limits. At the beginning of the movie, we see a city called Baghdad in the desert. A group of soldiers led by a person named Luo Feng goes there for a special task. Luo meets the person in charge of the oil factory, who used to work there and was in charge. In fact, the people of the oil company's factory were in great trouble. They were being attacked every day, and this was the reason why the Luo team came to save them. The factory's leader tells Luo that he has to save 400 people, and will have to save us and send us to the green zone. After that, a man named Chris appears in the village. Then his brother comes to him and says, "Brother, I have come to you on a mission. After completing it, we can make a lot of money. We have to kidnap some people on the bus." When Chris listens to all, he refuses him because Chris never did anything wrong. After that, we see a man named Owen in Chris's village, who used to do the job of extracting water from the ground. In Chris's village, they didn't have enough water. Chris cared a lot about his villagers, so he asked Owen to help get more water. But when Owen tried to get water from a well, he couldn't do it. At that time, it was hot, and the people of Chris's village were also poor. Here, Owen tells Chris that if some money is arranged, we can easily extract water from here. Hearing this, Chris tells Owen, "Okay, I will bring the money." In the factory, Luo and his team were talking about how they needed to help the people in the factory and take them away from the dangerous highway. Only then can they all be safe in the green zone. This way is a shortcut, but it is also dangerous. After this, the leader of the factory locks the whole system here, saves it on a pen drive, and keeps it in her bag so that everything is safe on that drive and no one will be in danger. Then she gives her bag to one of her assistants. Actually, the assistant of the factory leader is Luo's daughter. She had a fight with her dad, which means Luo, because when her mom died, Luo was not with them. As a result of this, Luo's daughter was very mad at her dad and didn't like him. Then, everyone gets on a bus and goes to a place called the Green Zone. They travel for a bit and eventually reach a scary place called the Highway of Death. Seeing the scene there, Luo's daughter was scared because no one had gone alive from there until today. There were cars everywhere that were in bad condition due to the accident. Luo tells his team to keep an eye on all four sides and then moves on with his bus, but there were two cars on the way, because of which the road was blocked. Seeing this, Luo's daughter says we should stop the bus here, but Luo is not ready to do that. He says, "I know why these cars are stopped, and we cannot stop the bus here at all. We have to leave this place, no matter what." When he takes the bus to the cars, there is a loud noise, and because of this, everyone on the bus gets really scared. Luo still did not stop his bus and kept moving. In fact, all these buses were made of a special kind of material. That is why the bullets and bombs had no effect on them. Luo tells his daughter that the cars standing in the middle are going to make us lose. Luo and his friends are on a bus, and they see a big storm made of sand coming towards them. Even though it might be scary, Luo is not afraid and keeps going in the same direction as the bus. Here, Chris's team takes advantage of the sandstorm and hijacks a bus. They had taken that bus into their custody. As we know, Chris needed money, and that's why he was doing that. He had agreed with his brother, and now, when the storm stopped, they all stopped their buses. Then Luo finds out that one of their buses was missing, including the leader of the oil factory. Then the girl from his team tells him that he saw it going the other way. Luo now calls for a helicopter here so that the bus can be found quickly. In this work, Luo's daughter also tells him to go with her. Luo had left to find that bus with his daughter in the helicopter. After going a little further, Luo sees a truck from the helicopter and understands that there was no sandstorm. In fact, the enemy had made a fake storm with the help of this truck to hijack our bus. Luo sees his bus after a while. Then, a girl from his team talks to him and says that the Americans have taken away 5 people from the bus, including the person who leads the oil factory. After that, Luo contacts his team again and tells the rest of the buses to reach the green zone. On the other hand, when Chris was moving forward in the car with his teammates, Luo dropped a bomb on them from his helicopter. Chris was attacking the helicopter by taking a gun out of his car, which made the helicopter a little far from him, and there was a fire in it. Chris had just brought his brother to the cave and asked him whose mission was this? Tell me the truth. In a very dangerous situation, helicopters are dropping bombs on us. At the same time, Owen, who was friends with Chris, arrives and claims that he was the one who came up with the entire plan for this mission. He had also kidnapped the leader of the oil factory. The purpose of this was to hack all the systems of the oil company, by bringing them under his control, from which he was going to get a lot of money. The leader of the oil factory also understood that it was Owen who was attacking their factory, so when we changed our place and started going towards the green zone, he would kidnap us on the way. Chris is telling Owen that he doesn't think Owen's plan is a good idea and that he doesn't want to help anymore. Chris wants his money back so he can go away. Owen says some more work is left now, after which you'll get your money. Chris's brother also says some work is left now, but Chris says, without caring for anyone, that he wants his money in the next 2 hours. After saying this, he left. After Chris leaves, his brother tells Owen that they will have to work without Chris, but Owen goes against his brother's trust there. He killed Chris's brother and then asked everyone to leave. There, Chris also reached his village and was furious at his brother because he did not tell him the right thing. After that, he went out to play with the children to calm himself down. Meanwhile, Luo comes and says, "I have come here to save my people. I know you kidnapped them, and my people are with you." Chris also replies, "I am also saving my villagers." Chris did this work because he wanted to help his villagers by getting them water, and he needed money to do it. All this was Owen's plan so that Chris could also support him, but Owen betrayed him. Anyway, after this, Luo goes from there. After a while, Chris went to an empty factory where he saw his brother's body, and Luo also came there. Chris and Luo have been fighting a lot. Sometimes Chris is in charge, and sometimes Luo is in charge. Chris thinks that Luo killed his brother, but then Luo saves Chris's brother from something falling on him. Chris realizes that Luo didn't actually kill his brother, but Owen played a part in it. That's when a barrage of bullets begins raining down on them. Actually, Owen had sent his goons to kill them here too, but they fought those bullets. Chris dropped a bomb on them, which caused a big blast. Anyway, the goons run away from there, but in this, Chris's car also gets destroyed. They both understood that they had to catch only one person, Owen, who was the enemy of both of them. Chris knew where Owen was at that very moment. And on the other hand, the boss of the Owen factory and some of her workers were taken to the factory along with him. Here, he tries to open the system, but there is a code on it. When Owen asks the factory leader about the code, she does not tell him. That's when he kills 2 people. Seeing this, the factory leader was scared. Now he threatened to kill his son. Hearing this, the factory leader immediately tells him that this code is in a pen drive that I had kept in my bag, but I don't know where it is. I only remember that I gave the bag to my helper. Then, the boss's son tells him to call his mom's phone, which will show us where her phone is. Where are the phone and bag? Actually, that bag was with Luo's daughter, who was in Chris's village at the time. In the same village, Luo gets the news of reaching the green zone from the rest of the people. Here, his daughter asks him, "How can you trust Chris?" Luo says he is a good man and thinks for the good of people, we can trust him. That's when Chris got Luo's diary. He picked it up and brought it to him. He says, "Do you like this girl? You are so lucky that you have such a girl, you always keep her picture in your diary." Luo says you are thinking wrong, actually, she is my daughter. Chris apologizes to him for this. Luo says when my wife died, I was not with my daughter, because of which she is still angry with me. He came on this mission because his daughter works at the oil factory, and he wanted to save her. Chris tells him not to worry and promises that they will save everyone and fight together. That's when they hear the voices of some goons, and they go and fight those goons. Here, they come to know that Owen has sent them here, and they come to take the bag of the factory leader, which was with Luo's daughter. They had a lot of weapons. They captured all the villagers and made them slaves. Now, they are also requesting the bag that belongs to the leader of the factory. Inside the bag is a pen drive that contains the locked system code. Chris hands over the bag to them, and they depart with it. As a result, Luo and his daughter became furious with Chris. Then Chris says I could not put the lives of the entire village in such danger. In the morning, Chris asks Luo's daughter, what was in that bag that you were not ready to give her? She says that there was a pen drive in that bag, with which all the systems of the oil factory could be hacked and the oil of the entire city of Baghdad could be transferred anywhere. This system also has oil smuggling. After that, they can sell oil to any country or city, and if this happens, it will be the biggest theft of oil till now. However, there is another ship from Germany. The captain of that ship was speaking to Owen over the phone. In addition, Chris and Luo's daughter also left the village. However, she had a feeling that they wouldn't be able to handle everything together. That's why she also takes the car and goes behind them. The goons had also reached Owen with a bag. He tells the factory leader to open the lock on the pen drive by giving him the bag, and as she puts the pen drive in the system, the whole system is on. Owen tells us to fill oil on that German ship, but it took 24 hours to do this. After some time, Chris and Luo also reached Owen's factory in their truck and were competing with his goons. Luo climbs on a pipe and kills Owen's men in a cool way. Owen was also watching all this secretly. He tells his men that they have to get out of here soon because his work is done now. The oil had been filled on the German ship. Chris enters the factory and begins to kill the bad guys. At the same time, he notices that Owen is trying to escape from the area. Now he follows him while running and meets Luo's daughter on the way, who took the car and reached them. Now they both follow Owen. Here, Luo was competing with Owen's goons in the factory. He ends everyone one by one. Now the leader of the oil factory comes and says everything is ruined. He took the oil from the pen drive. We need to prevent such a significant loss. While Chris was following Owen, he quickly drove his car behind him. Luo's daughter also made her car jump in the air, but unfortunately, her car ended up having an accident. Chris gets angry at Luo's daughter for the condition of the car. Meanwhile, Luo also reached there with a truck. They sat in the truck and went ahead with him. Chris tells Luo the shortcut to reach Owen, and they leave the rocket launcher on that truck. Actually, it was the same truck with which the fake storm was made to hijack the bus. Chris now reaches Owen and collides his truck with his truck at a high speed, which causes powerful explosions. Owen's car fell far away, and he became injured. Upon spotting Chris, he swiftly hops into his car and speeds away from the scene. Luo asked Chris to get back into his truck. Chris was now hanging from the truck. They were driving really fast towards Owen's car, like a rocket launcher, and because of this, their truck also started going out of control. They tied a rope to Owen's car and dropped their truck in the trench, and he was hanging on that rope. Seeing this, Owen was laughing at them, but due to the weight of the car, Owen's car also fell into the trench. Luo had left that rope. He fell on a stone with his daughter, and Owen fell in the trench with his car and died. Here, Luo and his daughter were saved. They can't see Chris anywhere and think that Chris is dead. Luo's daughter found her dad's special book. Inside, she saw a picture of her and her mom. Luo told her that he loved both of them a lot and never wanted them to be apart. Hearing this, Luo's daughter hugged him. Meanwhile, Chris grabs Luo's leg from below, which is still alive, and they pull him up. All three were saved, but now they think about how to get out of here. Then an idea comes to Luo's mind, and he says we should make a lot of noise here so that someone can help them. It is shown after a while that they had also caught that German ship, to which Owen had sold oil. Chris and Luo worked together to bring water to Chris's village. This made all the villagers happy. Afterward, Luo's team asked him what they should do next. Chris promises to always be there for him and help him with every mission. This is the end of the story. Your liking and subscribing are very important for us. Please think about it. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video. Take care and bye now.